On a moonless night in the heart of the countryside, a lonely country road stretched into darkness. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant howling of wind through the trees. Mark, a weary traveler on his way home, was driving along this desolate road when he spotted a flicker of light up ahead. As he approached, he saw a woman standing beside her broken-down car, her face illuminated by the faint glow of her hazard lights. Her long, dark hair billowed in the night breeze, and her eyes reflected a mixture of desperation and fear. Mark felt a sense of obligation to help her. He pulled over and stepped out of his car, the gravel crunching beneath his feet. "Are you okay?" he asked, concern in his voice. The woman turned to him, her eyes wide with relief. "Oh, thank goodness you stopped. My car just died and I don't know what to do. I've been waiting here for hours." Mark offered a reassuring smile. "Don't worry, I'll take a look." He approached the woman's car, but as he leaned over the engine, he couldn't help but notice a strange, unsettling sensation. It was as if an icy hand had brushed against his neck, sending shivers down his spine. Ignoring it, he tried to diagnose the problem. Minutes turned into hours as Mark worked diligently to repair the car. The woman watched him intently, her eyes never leaving him. As he finally fixed the issue, he turned to her with a smile. "There, it should be running fine now." The woman's expression changed suddenly, her eyes filled with an unnatural darkness. "Thank you," she said, her voice taking on an eerie tone. "But I have one more request." Unease settled over Mark, but he couldn't refuse. "What is it?" "Could you give me a ride to the lake up ahead? I need to get there before sunrise." Mark hesitated for a moment, his instincts warning him of something amiss. Nonetheless, he agreed to help her further. She got into the car, and they continued down the road towards the lake. As they approached the lake, the atmosphere grew even more ominous. Mist rolled in from the water, obscuring the surroundings. The woman directed Mark to a remote spot by the shore, and he parked the car. "Now," she said, her voice colder than the night air. "I need you to close your eyes and count to 10. Mark obeyed, closing his eyes and counting slowly. When he opened them again, the woman was gone. Panic surged through him as he realized he was alone by the dark, silent lake. Suddenly, he felt a presence in the back seat of his car. He turned to see the woman's ghostly figure, her eyes filled with a haunting, malevolent energy. Mark screamed and tried to flee, but his car's engine roared to life, accelerating uncontrollably towards the lake. As the car plunged into the icy waters, Mark's last vision was of the woman's ghostly form, her twisted smile reflected in the rearview mirror. The car sank beneath the surface, and Mark's desperate gasps for air were silenced by the cold embrace of the lake. From that night on, locals spoke of the haunted lake and the ghostly woman who lured unsuspecting travelers to their doom. Mark's fate served as a chilling reminder never to stop on that desolate country road at night, for the horrors that lurked in the darkness were far more terrifying than anyone could imagine. Years passed, and the legend of the haunted lake grew, casting a shadow of fear over the countryside. Travelers avoided the lonely country road, and those who dared to venture near the lake did so with trepidation. But the story didn't end with Mark's tragic demise. His spirit, restless and tormented, found no peace at the bottom of the lake. Instead, it was said that he roamed the shoreline, a phantom figure searching for answers and seeking revenge against the malevolent spirit that had ensnared him. Local residents shared eerie tales of encounters with Mark's ghost. Some claimed to have seen a pale, soaked figure walking along the water's edge, his eyes filled with despair. Others reported hearing anguished cries and mournful wails echoing in the dead of night, as if the very air itself carried Mark's torment. As for the vengeful spirit that had caused Mark's tragic end, it seemed her malevolence knew no bounds. She continued to appear on the country road, her dark hair billowing in the wind, her eyes reflecting a sinister intent. Her reputation as a malevolent entity grew, and her name became synonymous with dread among the locals. One fateful evening, a group of thrill-seekers decided to investigate the legend of the haunted lake. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, they ventured to the forsaken spot where Mark had met his doom. They had heard the stories, and they were determined to capture evidence of the supernatural. As they approached the lake, the mist thickened, and the atmosphere grew oppressively cold. They set up their equipment and began their investigation, calling out to the spirits that were said to haunt the area. It wasn't long before they felt a chilling presence, an otherworldly energy that sent shivers down their spines. Suddenly, Mark's ghostly figure materialized before them, his eyes filled with a mixture of anguish and anger. He beckoned for them to follow him, leading them towards the water's edge. The thrill-seekers, consumed by fear and curiosity, followed. As they reached the shore, the malevolent spirit appeared, her presence even more ominous than the tales had described. She let out a blood-curdling scream, her dark intentions clear. It was a terrifying showdown between the vengeful specter and Mark's tormented soul. The cameras rolled, capturing the eerie confrontation as it unfolded. Mark's ghostly figure confronted the malevolent spirit, his determination to find closure evident. In the ensuing struggle, a blinding flash of light engulfed them both, and a deafening roar echoed across the lake. When the light subsided, the malevolent spirit was gone, vanquished by the combined energy of Mark's restless soul and the courageous thrill-seekers who had come seeking the truth. Mark's ghost, finally at peace, gave them a sorrowful smile before slowly fading away, his purpose fulfilled. The legend of the haunted lake endured, but its malevolent presence was no more. The countryside road, once shrouded in fear, gradually regained its tranquility. Travelers ventured down that path once again, with the knowledge that the darkness had been banished and that the restless spirit of Mark had found the peace he so desperately sought. And so, the story of the haunted lake became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the power of malevolence, the resilience of the human spirit, and the importance of seeking closure in the face of darkness.